You may be seated in the courtroom, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the record and we continue in the state's case in chief. Mr. Long.
The state calls Derek Arn.
I'm going to place you under oath. Sir, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have a seat. If you begin by stating your name for the record and spelling it for us, please.
My name is Derek Arn. It's spelled D-E-R-E-K. Last name is spelled A-R-N.
All right.
Mr. Long, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. What do you do for a living?
I'm a certified police officer with the Santa Fe Police Department.
How long have you been with the Santa Fe Police Department?
6 years.
And on October 29th, 2022, were you on duty?
Yes.
Were you called out to 5941 Jaguar Drive?
Yes.
And did you actually make it to that address?
While I was en route, I was rerouted to the AP Wireless, just down the street from the incident location.
All right. And when you arrived at that location, were there any other officers present?
Yes.
Who?
Officer Cesar Ornelas.
And at that point, did you take custody of any person?
Isaac Apodaca was on scene with Officer Ornelas, and we escorted him to the back of my patrol unit.
Do you typically wear a body-worn camera?
Yes.
And on October 29th, 2022, did you have a camera on?
Yes.
Where was that camera located?
It was on the front of my chest of my uniform.
All right. And was that camera operating properly?
Yes, it was activated.
Permission to approach the witness?
Yes.
So, Officer Arn, I'm going to hand you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 21. Would you please take a look at that? Do you recognize that?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It's a burned DVD disc, says with my initials, and it's also dated.
And have you reviewed the contents of that disc?
Yes.
And are those contents a fair and accurate representation of some body-worn camera footage from your camera from October 29th, 2022?
Yes.
And Judge, I apologize, our computer has done something again. At this point, I would move State's Exhibit 21 into evidence, and I'm going to have to do a hard reboot again.
Any objection to 21, counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, 21 is admitted.
And Judge, I apologize. Did I ask permission to publish?
Yes, you did. Permission was granted.
Thank you. And where did you just arrive?
I arrived at the AP Wireless. It's on the corner of Avenida Contenta and Jaguar Drive.
Okay. And at this point, without telling me all of the information that you have, are you trying to get up to speed?
A little bit. Here in this interaction with the defendant, he provided me with his name and also the involved individuals with their name and date of births.
Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to fast forward some of this. So we are, looks like a minute and a half in. I'm going to fast forward this to about the 6-minute mark.
Had a dagger or a knife or I don't know what it was, but it was being.
Oh, but you called her about what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also was talking to the dispatcher on the phone.
Just hang out, sit tight, okay?
All right.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk to you.
You don't have any weapons on you?
I have no weapons, just my phone and my wallet.
Okay, I'm actually going to rewind this. Now, Officer Arn, before you put somebody in your vehicle, is there a procedure that you might normally follow?
Yes, whenever someone's seated in your patrol unit, you just do a quick pat down to ensure they don't have any weapons.
Okay. And would you describe for the jury what a pat down is?
Just hang out, sit tight, okay?
All right.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk to you.
You don't have any weapons on you?
Could you just quickly describe what a pat down is?
Sure. So you're just checking the exterior of their clothing to make sure there's no weapons, firearm, handle, or a knife. Just checking the exterior of their clothing.
Thank you.
No weapons, just my phone and my wallet. It's all right.
What was your name?
Isaac Apodaca.
Isaac Apodaca. What was your date of birth?
12/19/1986.
You're the one who called it in?
My mother, she technically called it in first. Her name is Linda Montoya.
Oh, but you called her about what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also was talking to the dispatcher on the phone because she wanted to make sure I was okay.
Okay. What was your mom's name? Linda what?
Linda Montoya.
Linda Montoya. So what happened, man?
I was in the house and then I walked in the garage and she goes, "Hey, okay. I did it."
That's what Kiara told you?
Yes. I looked at the ground and there was somebody there and I didn't touch him or anything. I looked at them and I was like, this is too traumatic for me. I do have PTSD and I've dealt with stuff that's a lot more traumatic than this, but I'm not I'm not okay right now because I'm freaking out.
No, it's understandable, man. I understand. So you were like already inside the house?
I was inside the house.
Like you live there, or you and your girlfriend?
Me and my girlfriend. I was inside the house, and then I walked out, and that's when she said, "Okay, I did it."
Kiara is your girlfriend, right?
I'm freaking out right now.
No, just breathe, man. Just breathe a little bit, all right?
Do you need to get checked out by meds, man?
No.
No? Okay.
You want the air or anything? Are you hot, cold?
Got this. We'll roll down the window and we'll give you a minute, alright?
Hey, Isaac, just breathe, all right? Just breathe, okay?
I don't want to be there.
No.
I was already planning on leaving today too. I have all my stuff packed up, and I wanted to go to my mom and dad's because I'm not in a good mental space on the fact that
So, how'd you guys know, what was her name, the one that was being stabbed?
Grace.
How'd you guys know Grace Jennings?
She's a friend of mine.
A friend of yours? Is she a friend of Kiara's? Was she a friend of Kiara's or just yours?
She was a friend of Kiara's.
Both of you guys?
Yes.
And did she live here or just she's hanging out with you guys?
She was just hanging out with us.
Okay.
Everything was going good, and then in the morning I started getting... And I honestly should have called you guys earlier in the morning, but I had a dagger or a knife, or I don't know what it was, but it was being placed on my lower back.
What do you mean?
Something sharp was being placed on my lower back in the morning while we were all trying to sleep. And
We were the three of you sleeping in the same bed?
yes.
Hey, so as far as like, I know I asked you a couple questions, but I'm going to have the other officer that you spoke with first if he wants to ask you some more questions or anything.
Alright.
As far as like the investigation, alright? So I haven't Mirandized you or anything, so well, let's take it one step at a time, alright? Just breathe, just kind of focus on your breathing.
I was gonna ask if you guys are, if there's anything after this, is there a way you guys could get my stuff and then take it to my mom and dad's? The only things that I want away from there are, there's two bags. There's a pink bag, and it has my laptop.
So we'll get to that point, alright? Just don't worry about it. Alright, it's going to be a while anyways, because it's a crime scene right now, so I just have to stay put for now, alright? Where else could your girlfriend have gone?
I don't know.
Did she make any other statements? Like,
She wanted to go take a shower in the main house, but
where's the main house? Are you talking about this house, the main house? Like,
Yeah.
not the garage?
yes. But if she disappeared, then I don't know.
What does she look like?
Blonde hair, 5'5",
Is it natural blonde or dyed blonde?
natural blonde.
Okay. 30. Does she have like any tattoos or anything?
Yes.
Where?
Right arm. It's like kind of like
Right forearm?
Yeah. Kind of like a sleeve, and then on the
Well, what's the tattoo of?
like I would say on my left arm I would say runes, but they're more like just symbols.
Symbols? Alright. Is she thin build or heavier set?
Average.
Average build? Okay. Blue eyes?
Yeah.
Blue eyes?
Yes.
Officer, at some point, did you receive instructions to take Isaac Apodaca back to the Santa Fe Police Department?
Yes.
Permission to approach the witness?
Yes.
Officer, I'm going to go ahead and hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 22. I'm going to take 21 back from you. Would you take a look at State's Exhibit number 22? Tell me if you recognize that.
I do.
How do you recognize it?
It has my initials and it's also dated.
And do you know what is contained on that?
Body worn footage.
All right, and is that body-worn footage a fair and accurate representation of what you saw on October 29th, 2022?
Yes.
At this point, I would move to admit State's Exhibit 22.
Any objection to 22?
No objection, Your Honor.
22 is admitted without objection. Go ahead, counsel.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know the other officer pat you down real quick, but I gotta do a secondary search, right? So just turn around for me. You have anything sharp pointing in your pockets?
No.
That's all right.
I have a phone.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Lean forward a little bit at the hips. You're good. Good. Have a seat.
You don't see nothing for like at least 15 minutes of the data. And the temporal messed up with you, so.
Officer, for the time period that the defendant was in the back of your vehicle, was he always handcuffed?
He was.
Okay. And it looks, from that video clip, it looks like you took a couple things off of his person. What did you take off of him?
His wallet and cell phone.
And at some point, did you receive new instructions, and was someone else going to transport the defendant to Santa Fe Police Department?
Yes.
All right. Permission to approach the witness?
Yes.
Officer, I'm going to hand you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 23. I'm going to take 22 off your hands.
There you go.
Would you tell me if you recognize State's Exhibit number 23?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
It's a body-worn camera footage with my initials, and it's also dated.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of additional body-worn camera footage from October 29th, 2022?
Yes.
At this point, I would move State's Exhibit 23 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
23 is admitted without objection. Go ahead, Mr. Long.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So this officer's actually going to take you, all right?
Right.
So disregard my last. 318 is going to transport the mail.
This one here? think it's good there. I'll lock another one and lock it on me. Okay. Oh, there you go.
There's the stuff.
The stuff. Okay.
Are you supposed up here?
All right. Officer Arn, what did you just hand over?
So for my front passenger seat was a cell phone and the wallet, and I gave it to CSO Ornelas.
All right. Did you have any other involvement in the case?
No, just after that, I conducted perimeter security, then took control of the crime scene log.
I pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
We're done. Yeah.
Good afternoon, officer. Is it pronounced Arn, A-R-N?
Yeah.
Mike, okay, I don't want to mess that up, too bad. And how long have you been with Santa Fe Police Department?
For 6 years,
Okay, and do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
I do not.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what Mr. Apodaca's demeanor was when you first got there. It sounds to me like you knew what the call was about when you arrived on scene. Is that true?
To an extent,
And you knew that there was a caller that was calling, and you were looking for that caller? Did that question make sense?
not really.
Okay. There was somebody who was on dispatch, telling dispatch where they were.
If I recall correctly, that was the call, like someone was calling on behalf of the son.
Okay. And then did you get word later that the son was also calling saying, I'm over here at AP Wireless?
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay. But when you got to AP Wireless, you met Mr. Apodaca,
Yes,
the person that was in the video. And he was cooperative with you?
he was.
He didn't resist in any way?
No,
And he didn't argue with you in any way?
no,
So everything that we saw in the video is the entire interaction?
yes,
Okay. And when you patted him down, so it looks like you patted him down at least twice?
twice.
So the first time you patted him down, you were just checking for weapons and you didn't remove anything at that point?
I didn't.
And then when you put him into your unit, that's when you removed stuff?
The second time,
The second time? Okay. And you took out a phone and what else?
wallet,
Okay. But you didn't find any keys on him?
I did not.
So the first time you secured him in your unit, was he placed in handcuffs the first time?
He was placed in handcuffs prior to me arriving on scene.
Gotcha. And when you took him out of your unit to trade off with, is it Detective Ornelas?
Correct.
Did you check the back of your vehicle for any items he may have left behind?
No,
Did you find any keys in the back of your vehicle later?
no.
And when you were checking on him, did you see any blood on him?
I don't recall seeing blood.
Did you get any blood on you after checking him?
No,
How about in your unit? Did you see any blood in your unit?
I don't recall seeing blood in my unit.
And once you transferred Mr. Apodaca over to Detective Ornelas, you went and took over the crime scene log, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what is that?
So it just notates whoever's entering the scene, the crime scene. So just name and time they entered and time they left the scene.
Okay. And so about what time do you think you left the scene?
About 19:53 hours, so 7:53 p.m. is when I handed off the crime scene log to the next officer taking possession of it.
Okay. So you were out there about 5 hours altogether?
Yeah, yes.
So we heard what he did tell you. What I'm interested in what he didn't tell you. He didn't tell you that he killed this young woman, did he?
Whatever was said in the video is what he stated, what happened.
Okay. And just to be sure, though, he never told you that he killed Miss Jennings?
Correct,
And he never told you that he told somebody to kill Miss Jennings?
correct,
And he never told you that he manipulated somebody into killing Miss Jennings?
correct.
Okay. Give me just a second. Thank you, officer, very much for your testimony.
All right, thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Redirect.
No redirect, but we would reserve him for rebuttal.
Okay. So you're being reserved, which means don't discuss your testimony with anyone. The attorneys will stay in touch with you and let you know if you need to come back and testify. Don't seek out any other information about the case or the testimony of any other witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're free to step down.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and recess for the evening, so some quick instructions, and then we'll let you go. First of all, leave your notes with the bailiff. If you'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30, I do have a hearing that I need to conduct before we get started, so we may already be in here going when you start arriving. The attorneys, and that's in a different case, the attorneys and I usually generally meet for a few minutes before we bring you in and begin, just to kind of organize the day to get things squared away so that we can try and present the case to you as efficiently as possible. Over the evening, the hard part, please don't have any conversations with anyone about the case. And that's difficult. Your family and friends know you've been here all day, and they want to know what happened. You can't have that conversation with anyone. A couple of reasons for that. One is I'm one of those people, example myself, that I think out loud and I make decisions and I evaluate things as I'm talking. The instruction I gave you earlier that you're not supposed to be making up those decisions until you've heard all of the evidence and the instructions of the law and you have that conversation together when you begin deliberating, and we're not anywhere near that phase of the trial yet. Again, the other concern is if you start talking about the case with somebody else, they may have read something or heard something or have their own theories about things and start sharing those with you. And we want to make sure that ultimately you make a decision based on the testimony you hear here in the courtroom and the instructions of law that you're going to be given. So I'll stop there. Do any of you have any questions for me before we continue? I don't see any. We'll go ahead and let you go. The bailiff will take you back. Tomorrow morning, would ask that you meet the bailiff not on the third floor up here, but on the second floor. Again, come all the way down the hall to the windows and meet the bailiff on the second floor. Okay. Counsel and I are going to be here. We're going to be doing things in and out of the courtroom, and I don't want there to be a lot of congestion out here in front of the courtroom. So if you'll come up the elevator, get off on the second floor, come all the way down to the big windows at the end of the hall. This is the northeast corner of the building, and just wait, and the bailiff will find you there, and then he'll bring you up and get you situated in the back. All right. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Would you, if you'd go with the bailiff, please?
All rise.
You may be seated in the courtroom. We continue on the record outside the hearing in presence of the jury. Are there any issues this evening before we recess?
Nothing from the state, Judge. Thank you.
Okay.
Not for defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Question and concern, we were talking about exhibits 7 through 17. I don't know if those discs contain all 14 minutes of the conversations. So once you go through the process and review what's actually going to be potentially entered into evidence, they have to be replaced.
Yes.
Okay. And so those exhibits won't go back to the jury until they deliberate anyway, but we want to make sure that we keep track of the originals and then the substitutes if and when we get to the point where that information does indeed go back to the jury.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to lock up for the evening. I've got a hearing before you come in, so you need to take everything with you. The monitor will stay here, make sure we have 1 through 23 in our custody. And, we'll see you in the morning. I'm not sure it's going to work throughout the trial to have them on the second floor. It's very difficult because you can't get to the third floor without taking an elevator, and there is no single elevator that will hold 16 jurors plus the bailiff, so we may have to figure out something else. You all may have to assemble on a different floor.
Or what about even if they all assembled, further down in one of those kind of the other little nooks further down? So it's just when we're waiting to get into the courtroom, we're not stuck right here up with them.
We'll work on it. I checked to see if there were any empty courtrooms for tomorrow, and there aren't, and we could potentially use one of the courtrooms on this floor as a staging area, but that won't work for tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see you in the morning.
Thank you,
We're
Judge.
recessing off the record. Make sure he's here and dressed out at 8:15 tomorrow morning.